So, folks, you all know who Neera Tanden is, right? So Neera Tanden, she's the head of the so-called liberal think tank, the Center for American Progress, that so-called liberal American think tank that also supports Saudi Arabia, pushes privatized healthcare, charter schools, and takes millions of dollars from the Sackley family that made billions off the opioid crisis. And of course, before Neera, the Center for American Progress, their chairman was John Podesta. Yes. That's a guy, John Podesta is a guy who the best thing you can say about John Podesta is that he didn't run a child sex ring out of a pizza parlor. That's the best thing you can say about John Podesta.
Glass half full, Jimmy.
So no, I made some videos about Neera Tanden. Now the reason why I did is because she was attacking Julian Assange, saying that he was a fascist and he should be in prison. And of course, we found out why she was doing that. It was because Julian Assange exposed her for being one of the worst warmongers around, right? Because what she wanted to do, I'll show you what she wanted to do. This is, it says that we have a giant deficit. They have a lot of oil, meaning Libya. She says, most Americans would choose not to engage in the world because of that deficit. If we want to continue to engage in the world, gestures like having oil-rich countries partially pay us back. So what she's saying is, let's steal their oil, right, in Libya, so we can do more foreign wars. Because people at home are getting pissed off that we're not giving them social programs, but we're doing all these foreign wars. And she says, if we want to, some people would choose not to engage in the world because of that deficit. And if we want to continue to engage in the world, meaning bombing the shit out of people, we got to start stealing their natural resources in a more efficient way. That's what she's saying. So Julian Assange revealed that. I did a video about it. And so here's what she said. She did this. Important thread, Jimmy Dore has created multiple videos to attack me. She says, I ignore them, but they can be both vicious and ludicrous. So when you're ignoring them, are you watching them? And then do you ignore them after you tweet about them? Or after you find them ludicrous? What is it? When do you start ignoring? I don't know when the ignore part comes in. And by the way, important thread, Jimmy Dore has created multiple videos to expose me. I pretend to ignore them, but they can both be accurate and devastating. So, I don't know if you saw the thread that she linked to trying to smear me. The thread was by this guy, Steven Crowder, right? Well, it's Carlos Maza. He's from Vox, and he does these videos online. And then the Steven Crowder, who's a right-wing comedian, he makes fun of him, but he does it in he also makes fun of him in a homophobic way, right? Which is not good. And, but, that happens. People, CNN makes fun of me saying that I'm a conspiracy theorist and they try to fucking wreck my reputation and take my show away. It happens, right? It's not some jagoff right-winger. This is real. So she's trying to equate me with a racist homophobe because I had accurate criticisms of her war policy. That's a little fucked up. I'll throw it over to my panel. What do you think?
Well, that's where it starts, is the Steven Crowder stuff, but then you realize that YouTube is taking it much further, and they're actually demonetizing platforms that are just talking about things. And they actually challenged, they said anyone who interprets violent events that have been documented at length, anyone who interprets those differently than the established narrative, they're just going to remove the videos and possibly take down
So we're going to get
accounts.
to that. Yeah, that is true. We're going to, they said if you do a video that denies a major violent event, like if you deny the Holocaust or something, they're going to take your, but they also mean, like if I say, hey, that gas attack didn't happen in Syria, that was a hoax, they'll also take that video down. That's what they mean. So if you go against the establishment news narrative, like if I said WMDs that was bullshit, they would take that video down. If I said Libyan war was bull, they would take that down. So that's what, so I told you before, all this Russiagate stuff, and anybody who pushed it on the left was a moron, because they always use this to come after people who are pushing back against the state and the establishment, which is exactly what they're gonna do now. Right? And they've been doing it, by the way. They already deplatformed 800 lefty sites, the Cop Watch and stuff like that. And they always demonetize one of my videos when I talk about Syria or I talk about war in the right way. And so it's just weird that she, because I just want to, we're going to talk more about that, but I just want to show you this. Here's Neera Tanden, and here's what a lightweight she is. She can get destroyed and dismantled by Chris Cuomo, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got great teeth, though. Have you seen his teeth?
And he's very tall. He's like 6'3". So, and how do I know that? Because he tells people. Anyway, so that's why. So he's going to ask her about, in their emails, Neera Tanden was caught saying Hillary Clinton is horrible and what the fuck, right? And he asks her about this. Watch her try to weasel out of it.
Specifically, one of the ones that you wrote, put up the email. Her inability to just do a national interview and communicate genuine feelings of remorse and regret is now, I fear, becoming a character problem. Now, this is interesting to hear that inside, you guys were having the same discussion that people were having outside. So what happened when you said these things to Podesta and others? Where did you guys come to a conclusion about why Clinton had such a hard time just owning that she did something wrong with the email, sir?
You know, I know that Russia and other forces would love us to have a debate. This is exactly what they want. They want us to have a debate about the internal structure of Hillary's campaign, what's true, what's not true. And I'm just not going to play that. I'm sorry. The reality here is that, as Marco Rubio said, we have a Russian government, a foreign government, trying to essentially impact this election.
But Neera,
and I'm sorry, Chris, using the American media to do that. And
Neera,
Oh God, turn it off.
I'm sorry, Chris. All I just want to say is right now that I'm totally sorry, but you're getting this all wrong.
As Marco Rubio said.
I'm sorry.
But Neera, so you're saying, I'm sorry, Neera, you're saying that Russia wrote your email? Is that what you're saying?
Chris, I am sorry that you're Chris, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm sorry, but Russia did some stuff.
But how can you cannot answer your own email that is in writing?
You're dumb.
I love how she cites Marco Rubio too as like a source of, you know, she's like,
As Marco Rubio clearly stated.
Oh, Marco Rubio said it? Then it's true. Okay.
I think it's
don't tell
always
me
important.
Don't tell me Louis Gohmert said it too, because that'll be. So let's listen to watch Chris Cuomo pushes back.
she got fresh
Any
Botox.
email I sent was
Yeah.
personal, from my personal account
Right.
to someone else's personal account. I'm not on the campaign. I was an informal outside advisor with
Right.
my own thoughts. And so, honestly, I'm just telling you right now, Chris, that the reality of this is that I think Marco Rubio is right about this, that people should not be using this as weaponizing the emails or
Neera, if this
personal
email
emails of
were
anyone
from
and sending...
Kelly
Well-
Conway to Dave Bossy, you would be giving me all your deepest thoughts about it right now. You don't
you know,
like
Chris?
it because it's your email. You're ducking
Chris?
it. You're not having high ground.
Chris,
Chris, stop pointing out the bullshit that I'm saying. Stop pointing out facts, Chris.
Chris, it's very sexist to point this out, and just ask Marco Rubio.
Marco gave me this necklace.
Let's see what he says.
Chris, that's absolutely false. I actually would not be doing that. And you can see in other areas where emails have been used on any other issue, I've taken the same position.
Well,
That's
when his
just not
taxes
true.
came out, the Clinton campaign couldn't stop talking about them, right? Those were leaked.
Was that
right? Technically, that
oh yeah,
information.
actually, that is a really important point, Chris. I
Yeah.
agree with you. These emails were not leaked. They were
Well, I'm
stolen.
saying, what's the difference how
were
they come out?
stolen.
That's a separate issue. The emails say
You
what they
just said
say.
leaked. You just said leaked,
Yeah, I
and I'm
know. I'll
just
say it
telling you.
again. Leaked. But what I'm
And they
saying
weren't
is,
leaked.
You just said leaked. You just said leaked.
It makes me think of pee-pee.
You said leaked. You said doo-doo.
You said...
That's what you just said, doo-doo.
You said dookie. He almost said it.
Someone put her voice on double speed. I can't handle it anymore. It's too.
What's your meaner? Don't you like talking through your nose? All you have to do is talk through your nose as if you don't even have a tongue.
This is
It's
like
nice. It's what I go to annoying school before I came on shoot. I went to annoying. Hey, are you going on TV? I can teach you how to be annoying. You said leaked. Here we go. I bet this gets demonetized and I lose my show for this because I'm attacking her.
tradition.
It is not a separate issue. How this happened was a foreign government. And you don't listen to me. Listen to Marco Rubio.
Jesus
The
Christ!
intelligence agent.
No! God damn it, no!
Marco Rubio is really important. Oh my God, she's driving me crazy.
That's a Democrat, the head of a Democrat think tank telling you to listen to Marco Rubio. Hey, listen to Sarah Palin. Listen to her. Listen to Sarah Palin and Kellyanne Conway.
You should listen to Ted Cruz. He's got good ideas.
Listen to one of Mitch McConnell's chins. They're very accurate.
Ivanka's interesting. I like her ideas.
Listen to them. Here we go. I think there's more to this.
I understand that they were hacked, Neera, but you have to understand, to not just to me, but to the outside, your emails are what they are. Now, if you say, I never said this, that's something different. If you say, this isn't me, yeah, I didn't write that, then that's a legitimate basis. But otherwise, it just seems like you're ducking it because you don't want to own what you said.
I'm not.
Ha, Chris. Let's see what she says.
Marco, come out here and defend me.
Hey, here we go.
I'm not owning it. I'm saying that we shouldn't really be dealing with people's private emails. This is, I think, an issue of privacy. I agree with a lot of people who've made this point on both sides of the aisle.
Okay, there you go. So that's Neera Tanden. She's very easy to make fun of, ladies and gentlemen. And she's a horrible person, and she's a warmongering maniac, which is why I make videos about her. And she's very powerful, and she's a very powerful person. She's the head of the Center for American Progress. She knows the Clintons. She knows all the people who run. She's friends with Steve Schmidt, the head of Google. She's friends with everybody who's powerful. So she's not a victim. And so for her to tweet that out with saying Jimmy Dore does what this guy does and what that guy was doing homophobic, racist slurs against another guy, that's not what I do. What I do is I make fun of you for your policy. I don't make fun of you for how you were born, okay? Neera Tanden, you weren't born a corporatist, warmongering piece of shit. You chose to be that.
Jimmy.
That's my identity.
Marco Rubio made me do that.
So that's why I do videos about her, and that is the big difference, all right? The Center of American Progress just equated me doing accurate criticism of her war policy with being a homophobic racist. So that's the kind of smear bullshit she does. It's ironic. She linked to a thread on Twitter of a guy complaining about being harassed, and what she's actually doing is smearing and harassing me. It's kind of ironic that Neera Tanden's actually fucking smearing me in a fake, phony way. All right,
Well,
which
it's
is what I
scary.
do. Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah,
She
it is.
has a lot of power.
Well, that's what I mean. She has a
Yeah.
lot of power. My show's on YouTube, which is owned by Google. She hangs out with the guy who fucking runs Google, right? So it is very scary because they can shut me down just like that, and then I have to go kill myself. And
Go back to living in Joe Biden's cardboard
Don't do
box.
that, Jimmy. Don't do that.
What's also amazing to me is, the fake left will fucking jump out of their skin and go crazy when Trump and Kellyanne Conway and those people just do the same thing. Just flat out lie, won't own it. There's a fact right in front of them that they dodge. Right. And then this woman is some sort of fucking liberal hero? Give me a fucking break. The whole ruling class is a bunch of sociopathic, lying nutbags that would fucking skull fuck a puppy if it meant turning a profit from a war.
You're insulting Marco Rubio right now.
I'm sorry.
Relax.
Abby, actually...
Hey, we just added St. Louis and Honolulu to our live tour schedule. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our live shows. We might be coming to your town. Go check right now at jimmydorecomedy.com. And if you like the show and want to support it, become a premium member. You can become a patron or through PayPal, or go right to jimmydorecomedy.com and become a premium member. That's the best way. We'll see you at a live show.